I am not a firm believer in just networking just to be networking. Show your face, okay? Share your perspective. Showcase your expertise. Give people a reason to trust you. Build an audience of people who know, like, and trust you over time, because that becomes your lead source. You cannot be an expert-based high-ticket provider and not have a website, not have an online presence. So your messaging definitely has to be on point. Focus more on the content. Focus more on the copy and focus more on the messaging. And thinking you just don't have time to make money? You just don't want no clients? You just don't want no money? You just don't want to grow these things? Because ultimately, that is what you're saying when you say to yourself that you can't do social media marketing. Baby, you got to overcome it. Do you want to attract clients? Do you want to bring them consistently into your business? Do you want to make money and ultimately achieve freedom? Then social media marketing has got to be on the list. Hey there, my loves. Welcome back to CPTV. I, of course, am CP, your CEO, business bestie, coach, and overall person who is empowering startup and growth stage entrepreneurs to build the businesses of their dreams so that they can live a life of freedom. And today, I am breaking down my top 3 online and offline strategies to get clients that actually work, specifically for consultants, coaches, and expert-based service providers. Plus, I've got one major impact tip that most new consultants really do not understand the importance of or even ignore, and it is costing them big time and opportunities. But you got to stick around to the end, because that tip alone could change the game for you in your business. And once I instituted it in mine, I started bringing in hundreds of leads every single month. So there is no feast or famine in my business. So now let's dive in. Let's get to work. All right. I want to start with online strategies because it's 2025 and I ain't got nothing else to say about that. So my top 3 online strategies that I use every day in my business right now, and that I ultimately teach and coach my entrepreneur coachees and students and clients to use. First is your website. Yes, even a simple website. And a lot of people will literally stall starting their business or growing their business because they're not happy with the website. And you do need to have a website, but even a simple one works, right? A 1-page landing page, a 2-page landing page, even a 3 or 4-page website. Inside of my CSB club, I actually teach folks the ultimate website planner, how to plan out the simplest website so that they can go. The goal is just to go. But it doesn't have to be fancy, but it definitely has to be. You cannot be an expert-based high-ticket provider and not have a website, not have an online presence. And the first strategy is going to be your website. And because I said it's a client attracting strategy, it's a client getting strategy, that means that it's not just your standard brochure. This is all about me. This is who I am, what I do. You want your website to make sure that it speaks to what problems you solve, so that it literally attracts the client to you. Who is it that you're helping? And then ultimately to convert them into your processes, to convert them into your lead generation process, or to convert them directly into your sales process. It is a client attracting strategy. So your messaging definitely has to be on point. How big the site is, how many visuals it has, whether it has videos and things bouncing around, is a lot less important than what the website says and what it instructs the visitor to do. So if all you've got right now is time to create a 4-page templated website, focus more on the content, focus more on the copy, and focus more on the messaging, and focus more on what you are asking the person and the visitor to do, because it literally can be a client attracting strategy. First one, hands down, gotta have it. Keep it simple, don't overthink it, and then move on to my second favorite. My second favorite strategy, because it is what it is social media marketing. Yes, no way to avoid it. I literally have the funniest time on my group coaching calls on my CSB club, or even with my individual clients when I have to sit there and listen to them with my face like this. When they say, I just don't like social media. I just don't understand it. I just don't have time. I just don't. And every time I hear I just don't, I'm thinking, you just don't have time to make money? You just don't want no clients. You just don't want no money. You just don't want to grow these things, because ultimately that is what you're saying when you say to yourself that you can't do social media marketing. I want you to really deep down inside figure out, when you say that stuff to yourself in your head, what is the limiting belief that is going on behind the scenes that is continually telling you to tell yourself that you don't like, that you can't do, that you don't want when it comes to social media. I need you to figure that out. That's a whole separate video though. If you want me to do a video on what I'm talking about on that to help you overcome this limiting belief and fear of social media, put social media please CP in the comments below and I got you, because baby, you got to overcome it. Do you want to attract clients? Do you want to bring them consistently into your business? Do you want to make money and ultimately achieve freedom? Then social media marketing has got to be on the list. And when I say social media marketing, I mean all forms. I mean long form social media marketing, meaning a video podcast or an audio podcast or long form video or online free webinars that you're giving or video content that you're putting out there that's longer in nature and really teaching and empowering and solving problems for people. And I also mean short form video, where you are doing the exact same thing in 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute types of video snippets or carousels or images that's really impacting people's lives and bring value. Long form equals value-packed carousels, or like I said, longer form videos, short form reels, YouTube shorts, TikTok, story-based clips. Show your face, okay? Share your perspective. Showcase your expertise. Give people a reason to trust you. Build an audience of people who know, like, and trust you over time, because that becomes your lead source. You cannot exclude social media marketing, my love, from your initiatives and from your goals and from your overall marketing strategy if you want to make money in 2025 and beyond. So get that I don't want to, I can't, I'm afraid out your head. And ultimately, stop hiding behind Canva quotes and random hashtags. It's cute. Okay, that's all cute. I love it. I love a good Canva quote, but that's not converting. That's not bringing the leads into your processes. So I need you to get yourself wrapped around this second strategy, because you've got to adopt it. And I'm here to help you do it. Strategy number 3, online. My favorite one, the one that I use all the time, is email marketing. Yes, email marketing. If you are a CP insider, you are on my email list, we have ever met at a networking event, anything like that, you know that I love to do some email marketing. And it's all about the list building. And I tell people, when you are first starting out in your business, whether you have full-fledged launch, you've soft launched, or you've just started mentioning it to people, you've got to start building your list now, even with just 10 people. And those, email marketing, how to get people into your email list, how to capture folks, all of that is around my ACN framework that I teach to drive business into your consulting, coaching, or expert-based business. And that is something that I teach in my lead process bootcamp. Hey, real quick, before we dive that in, I wanted to take a moment to share with you how you can work directly with me to build your master lead generation process in your business in only 5 days. Yep. You heard me. I am going to walk you through in 5 days, setting up the exact lead generation process that I use currently in my business that drives hundreds of leads per month into it, so that I don't suffer from the feast or famine mode that you might be experiencing. Are you trying to figure out how to make sure you've got a constant stream of leads coming into your business so that you can then convert them into your sales process and ultimately help solve their problems, bring them value, and turn more clients into revenue? Then the Lead Process Lab is for you, because in only 5 days, you will walk away with a complete lead generation process that is automated, that is easy, that is doable, and that is completely mapped out by working directly with me. Now, that means that you want to become a part of my Lead Process Lab Bootcamp. And I only open this program up twice per year, and it happens to be open right now for enrollment. Now, enrollment only lasts for a short period of time because we hit the ground running and we get to work. But if you are interested in joining this very, very low cost-effective program that will help you build the lead generation process that I use in your business, then you're going to want to check it out. So take a look at the link, get all of the details, and I hope to see you on the inside. Now let's get back ultimately, you've got to generate a lead magnet idea, cheat sheet, a checklist, a mini training, some kind of thing like that, and ultimately get people captured into your business. And once you do, you begin to build that know, like, and trust. You nurture that relationship. You continue to drop dimes. You continue to provide them with value. And when they're ready to say yes, for you to solve their problem, they will. It really does eliminate the stress around, can you sell it? And do you have to push people? And do you have to be manipulative in a sales process? No, absolutely not. You do need to have a sales process. Yes. You do need to have a lead generation process in order to pull all of this stuff off. Yes, but you ultimately need to make sure that email is nurturing that relationship, right? It is today a nurturing opportunity. It's building a relationship. Think of it like old school phone calls when you just call and chit chat with somebody. Think of it as new school text messages, exact same thing. Email marketing is going to be a main source for you to draw clients in if you are in the business, especially as an online strategy. So it's a must be, must do, must have. All right, so let's talk about the offline strategies that I use and that I love. And these, you probably know, you may be incorporating them, and you may want me to go more in depth into them. And so, again, you can join the Lead Process Lab Bootcamp that is open for enrollment right now if you want me to dive even deeper. Otherwise, you can also dive deeper, CP, at the comments below, and I will make separate individual videos for you guys, because I'm thinking that this is all about to be lead generation process during the month of September. It's about to be leads, bringing money in, all that kind of good stuff, and I can dive even deeper. But my number one strategy for offline is strategic networking. Not just random coffee dates, okay? Strategic networking. When I say strategic networking, I mean strategic. For a purpose, has a goal. Attend targeted events where your ideal customer is. Don't just randomly go to events. Go in with a plan. Introduce yourself clearly and briefly. Be prepared with your unique value proposition. Be prepared with your follow-up strategy, and then always implement that follow-up strategy. But I am not a firm believer in just networking just to be networking. So I'm going to tell you right now, don't just network to network, right? Don't just network to meet somebody. You network to connect with intention. Have an intent for the purpose of that meeting. If you're spending $75 or $50 on a networking event or a brunch and walking away with no leads, then you're just doing it wrong. Why are you doing that, by the way? What is that all about? Like, if you go network and you're going to pay to network and you're going to spend the time and effort and energy, and trust me, even if it's a free networking event, if you're spending your time there, it's costing you money, because time is money, okay? So if you're just out there doing it willy-nilly, then don't. Be strategic in your networking, but you have to network. I used to set a goal when I was really, establishing my brand in my business and trying to achieve my first 6 figures, that I attended at least 2 networking type of events every single month. And I hit that goal for 2 years straight, but it was very strategic networking. And I think that you should employ it. So very, very helpful. Strategy number 2 in the offline realm is public speaking. Yes, public speaking. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how big of a marketing strategy public speaking has been and was always in my business. And now it's actually something that I get paid to do. It's no longer just a marketing strategy, but even when I get paid to do it, it brings a tons of leads into my business. And I'm telling you that you've got to make this a part of your strategy. In the very beginning, even if you don't feel like you're at a place where you can charge to speak, then you need to volunteer and to speak at meetups, nonprofits, co-working spaces, chambers of commerce. Put it out there, create a speaker's kit, and tell them that you are available to speak on topics that you are an expert in. Don't sell in those speaking events. Just teach something powerful and useful and give those folks a next step. And the goal is for you to connect so that they ultimately become a lead. You want to impress them with your expertise. You'll have a 1-page takeaway or something like that that can breathe them into your leads process, that will ultimately make sure that you're developing that know, like, and trust. But speaking engagements is an amazing way for you to deliver content that really does highlight you as an expert and someone who knows what they're talking about. And it will literally attract to you people who need what you're talking about. So when you speak, people assume that you're an expert, and experts get hired. Remember that, okay? experts get hired. And strategy number 3 is kind of a given, and you probably already have it in your arsenal, but it is referrals, right? Referrals, but make it a strategic process. I think that some people just go out there and they just ask friends to share your name. And that's not what you want. You don't want to attract a bunch of people who are just going to tell you no and deflate your confidence and not even move forward or convert for you into customers. You want to get referrals from people who need what you do and who are willing to pay for what you do. So you've got to be strategic in that referral process. Give them friends and family and different people, give them exact wording. Tell them who your ideal client is so that they know, wow, when they're out and they meet someone, this would probably be someone that CP wants to work with. So I need to connect them. Don't just willy-nilly tell people to send you folks. That's just going to waste your time, right? Consider a referral bonus or a thank you gift or something like that as well. And then also make sure that you've got a very strong offboarding process for your clients that will help them be able to make referrals for you. It's an automatic part of my offboarding process, and it works every single time. And word of mouth is a very powerful way to build your business, and the conversion rate on those leads is amazing. So this is definitely strategy number 3. Now I want to make sure that I unveil for you this impact tip, this powerful thing I promised you in the very beginning, because if you're not doing this one strategy, none of the other ones I just mentioned even matters. And what is that impact tip? Well, drum roll, please. It is content marketing. One common denominator that was involved in every single strategy that I just mentioned to you, it is content. You, as a consultant, as a coach, as an expert-based service provider that is high ticket, have to base your entire marketing strategy around delivering expert quality content. I don't care which one of these strategies that you use that I just mentioned, online or offline, the core of all of those strategies is you delivering expert-based content. The more you talk about what you know, the more you talk about solving problems, the more you talk about who you serve and how you can solve those problems, the more clients will come into your business. So if you haven't figured out that creating and delivering high quality, value-based, transformational content is the way to make sure that your business is constantly growing, then you ain't got no need to be thinking about nothing else at this point. Consultants are hired for what they know. You are literally hired for your intellectual property. So you need to show what you know. Content builds trust. It builds credibility. It's builds inbound traffic. It attracts people to you. And when you're offline or online, you need to make sure that you are delivering content. So every single strategy that I just gave you, the inside of that strategy is clear, precise, quality content, and absolutely 100% is a mandatory strategy in every single business. Client who starts posting weekly, did you know, things like that, just think about it. A quick did you know video on social media every single or 3 times a week will showcase that expertise. And when someone's watching it and says, wow, she's speaking to me, that's instantly a lead. They're going to reach out. They're going to come to you. Consistency, however, is key in the content marketing game. So visibility plus value equals trust, and trust equals clients. Yes, remember that formula, my loves. Hopefully today brought you value. If so, let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. But also maybe I will see you in the lead process lab, where if you want to work directly with me to build all of this out, including your lead generation process, then you're going to want to be a part of the boot camp, and it is dirt cheap, my love. So make sure that you check everything that I mentioned out in the links in the description below. And until next time, I will see you, my love. Bye-bye. Mwah!